The rain poured relentlessly over the quiet suburban streets. 12-year-old Ethan sat in the back seat of his parents' car. Then, out of nowhere, a truck skidded around a corner. David swerved, but the car spun out of control. Metal screeched, glass shattered, and everything went black. When Ethan opened his eyes, the world had changed forever. His parents were gone. He was alone. For the first time, fear and emptiness filled every corner of his heart. Weeks later, Ethan was sent to live with his distant uncle in a small apartment. The rooms were cramped and the walls felt cold. He stopped speaking much, avoided classmates, and buried his grief deep inside. Outside the apartment lived a street dog. She had a golden coat, soft brown eyes, and a quiet, patient way of observing the world. Ethan noticed her often, but he didn't care. He had built walls around his heart, and the dog, who would later be named Roxy, could not break them yet. One stormy evening, Ethan returned from school soaked to the bone. His stomach growled. The fridge was empty, and he had no money to buy food. Through the pouring rain, he heard a soft bark. Roxy stood at the gate, looking at him with worried eyes. Ethan ignored her at first, too proud and too lost in his own misery. But she wouldn't leave. She disappeared for a moment, then returned with something in her mouth. A small bundle, scraps of bread wrapped in paper. Ethan blinked. Following instinct, he ran behind her as she led him down a narrow alley to a small neighborhood clinic. Inside, the doctor treated him, gave him food, and wrapped him in a warm blanket. That night, lying in bed, Ethan whispered, "Thank you, Roxy." For the first time in weeks, Ethan felt warmth, trust, and hope. Days turned into weeks. Ethan and Roxy became inseparable. She waited for him every morning, followed him to school, and even waited outside classrooms. At first, Ethan only noticed her presence, but gradually he started laughing again, chasing autumn leaves, rolling in puddles, inventing little games, sharing tiny adventures in the alleys and parks. Slowly, the boy who had shut out the world began opening his heart again. Then came winter. One morning, Roxy didn't jump to greet him. She didn't bark, didn't wag her tail. She lay on the steps, eyes dull, alarmed. Ethan picked her up and rushed to the vet. After tests, the doctor delivered devastating news. Roxy had cancer. She had very few weeks left. Ethan's heart sank. The one being who had loved him unconditionally, who had saved him from his own despair, was now in danger. Tears streamed down his face as he held her close. "Don't leave me," he whispered, rocking her gently, determined to make her remaining days magical. Ethan remembered how much Roxy loved snow. That first snowfall, he bundled her carefully, placed her in the car, and drove to the park, blanketed in white. Roxy's eyes lit up. She ran, jumped, and rolled in the snow, ears flapping, tail wagging. Ethan laughed through tears. For those few precious hours, the cold wind and falling snow didn't matter. There was only joy, only the bond they shared. That night, Roxy curled beside him and quietly passed away. Ethan felt the emptiness return heavier than before. The only being who had loved him unconditionally was gone. But a few days later, a soft squeaking at the gate woke him. Ethan opened the door and saw 3 tiny puppies trembling in the cold. They were Roxy's babies. Their eyes blinked at him, and a spark of warmth returned to his heart. He picked them up gently, wrapping them in blankets. For the first time in months, he felt hope. Life had given him another chance to love, care, and nurture. The puppies would carry forward the love that Roxy had given him. Seasons passed. The puppies grew playful, energetic, and joyful. Ethan grew with them too, gentle, compassionate, and full of heart. The boy who had once built walls around himself learned to love, trust, and care again. Every night, as he looked at the stars, Ethan felt Roxy's presence. Her love never left him. It had only transformed into something new. He understood now that love is eternal, even if life is fleeting.